Hey yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
Welcome to a new episode of Steven from the All Time Podcast. I am your host and a really sick host, the Ayatollah of Hip Hop, the whole damn show, the Radar Podcaster, and one half of the podcast tag team champions of the world with my co-host tonight.
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's the man with all the facts. It's the person who spits it as it is. I'm not just good. I'm not just the best. I'm the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever will be. And if you have a problem with that, you could go one-on-one with the great one, Derek Alltime in the house.
Hey, shout out to you, Derek. And of course, you have me, the vanguard of the podcast world, the other half of the podcast tag teams of the universe, not the world, but the universe, the Black Eric Bischoff, the man, the myth himself, Trap All Time is here. Another episode of All Time. Please go like, subscribe, YouTube, Google, Instagram, tweet, whatever it is you do, make sure you tune in, please.
Wow.
And thank you. Thank you.
You guys just annihilated me on the mic. Annihilated.
We've been practicing, man. We gotta keep up. We gotta keep up with you, man, because your intro, I always tell you all the time, bro. I love your intro. So, I'll be sitting here trying to think of ways to keep up with you, man. Still sharpen stills, man. You
I love
understand
it.
what I'm saying?
I love it.
I love Derek intro, man. Loved it.
Yeah, you killed it. Shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been working on my mic game quite a bit. I just came from NXT for the past 3 weeks, so I've been developing.
I love it. Boys,
I love it.
It's been a while since we recorded the wrestling episodes. It's been quiet since WrestleMania. The last week, it's been quiet.
I mean, but for you, WWE wise or just wrestling wise?
In WWE wise, I find it's gone completely downhill.
Yeah,
we're getting into the Backlash. We had the draft that we're gonna get into. I just find that since WrestleMania, that it's been on a super, super, super high. I find there's like some funny feeling in the air. I did go to Monday Night Raw.
Yes, you did. And you rooted against your hometown hero, Sami Zayn.
It was phenomenal. I had a blast. It was actually
got to see heel Chad Gable. You got to see Chad Gable turn heel.
That amazing. Was so. Before we get into the draft,
talk about it.
I've been to wrestling the last 2-3 times with my son. This was the best time out of all those times. We had better seats. We were super close. He was shocked. He bought a championship belt. He was in a great mood. He was happy. My brother was there. The amazing thing, though, about being there is that how many people actually really enjoy Sami Zayn to the point where I'm just kind of trying to read people and trying to understand why. I get he's the hometown hero. He's the hometown boy. But his character is very stale and boring, just like the people in Montreal. No? Like Derek, let's be honest with each other. You've lived here your whole life. You understand where I'm coming from. Montreal is very stale. It's a dying city. I love Malenko. He's gonna text me as soon as he's done hearing me say this. But like it's a dying city, but just like their hometown hero, Sami Zayn, who is a dying wrestling breed. He's like, there's nothing to him.
I think Sami Zayn represents, in a certain way, like the less productive years of the WWE. The slightly no characters. Everyone's kind of like a baby face. They're really playing off like, the crowd too much and so on and so forth. Like, it's okay for your baby face to not be a superhero. Don't try to be that. And I think Sami Zayn had a good thing going. Whenever Sami Zayn was in NXT and he was partnering up with Kevin Owens and it was heel Zayn, I will admit heel Zayn is really good. Sami Zayn as a heel comes off as like a crybaby, and it works. It really works. He's a dynamic sort of guy on the mic as well. But he needs to drop the babyface thing. He needs to stop playing the good guy card, and he just needs to do his thing. You know, he
I
reminds me
think
a
that's
little
what
bit
it
of
is.
Bailey. He reminds me a bit of Bailey. I find him and Bailey are very similar, very good workers in the ring, but on the mic, Bailey as a baby face doesn't really do anything for me, but as a heel Bailey, I could really get behind that. And Sami Zayn's the same thing. I think if he does that, it gets better. And Montreal's going to cheer for him regardless. It doesn't matter whether he's a heel, whether he's a baby face. It's just going to happen. And to your point, Montreal is really stuck up on their hometown heroes. But you know,
Who isn't though?
I know he should come out
That's
like
true.
as a heel with like a Boston Bruins jersey.
Never gonna.
Let's go. You know, like it's happened. Like they've done it in the past, but it is what it is.
Just to the point of the hometown hero. By the way, he speaks terribly in French. He's a horrible French-speaking human being, and I'm just so surprised that they accept him so much when he can't really have a good conversation in French. But anyways, let's not stop shitting on Sami Zayn. I had a blast. Okay, seeing
I know
Chad
you did.
Gable suplex him in front of his wife and being the only one in the stadium screaming and chanting and screaming Sammy sucks and screaming at all the fans, calling them suckers and that they're useless just like him was just amazing. I was like on my chair at the end saying, this is amazing. He's getting a beating in front of his wife. I loved it.
I did too. I loved watching it.
It was amazing. Chad Gable turning heel is just another part of Triple H genius ideas and being able to turn these characters into like that story, like elevating that storyline to them and doing something like that with Chad Gable after being such a baby face, but like a very, how do you call it, cheesy cheese ball, like very like wishy-washy type
That
baby
was
face.
Vince because he wasn't like that in NXT. Then he brought him up, and then Vince was like, "Yeah, swoosh. We're gonna call you the swoosh." I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing, swoosh?" I'm like, "Come on, man. We got to get rid of." And then that's when the Chad Gable kind of fell down a little bit, but he had potential. And then I'm glad they're doing him right now. That was
Hey,
the best thing, turning him heel and creating that storyline against Sami Zayn, and then they just drafted Dragunov. That could be another good matchup. That
some big
whole
stuff.
thing, yeah, some big stuff, yeah.
Hey, Chad Gable, Brock Lesnar. I'm just putting it in your brains. We'll talk
Oh
about
yeah,
it in
yeah.
about a year. Cool? Remember who's the first
Cool.
person that said it. Okay?
Okay. All
On
right.
the only podcast that brings you hip hop and wrestling all in one.
All the time. Get it?
The,
All the time.
all the time. You're on point, by the way. The
I try to
draft.
be.
The draft. Boys, the draft is complete, right? Or is it finishing off on SmackDown?
I think
No,
it's complete.
I think it's complete.
It's
It was only 2
complete.
nights.
I am very underwhelmed by it. Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
I
Go,
miss
Trap,
back in
take
the
it
day
off.
when they
Take it off.
I miss back in the day when they had the generator where it's just a random generator that people with. But this one they didn't really swap nobody. So a lot of people stayed the same places. It was a few. I called it. Wait, hold on. I called it. I said this after WrestleMania and after Rhea Ripley got injured. I said they have to put Io Sky on Monday Night Raw so she can compete and get the championship. I said that. I told you that. I remember even during the draft, I texted you that I said the agenda is complete. I called my other friend Cavallo. That's another one of my friends who I annoy besides you with
He
Io
watches
Sky.
wrestling. I had no idea Cavallo was a
Oh,
wrestling fan.
yeah, he's a big wrestling fan. Like he's really into it. Yeah, like he's
Wow.
into it. So I called him immediately. He picked up the phone. He was like, "I knew you was gonna call me." He's like, "I knew you was gonna call me." Yes, Io Sky's on Raw. I said that. So the agenda is happening. And if she wins this, she's gonna be a Grand Slam champion in the WWE, and she's gonna be also a Grand Slam champion in Stardom. So amazing stuff. And plus, it gives Rhea Ripley when she comes back some competition and some good matches to have. So that's another thing that I think that was good because that Raw women's roster is stacked now, so they can have some competition now. So which is good. And I understand why they put Becky Lynch, gave her the title, because that's who you put on. You always put your title on your draw. Like Rhea Ripley's gone. Who's the next draw? Becky Lynch. She's a worker. She's improved a lot on the mic. and people like to see her. So like, because a lot of people were mad, they wanted somebody else to have the title. I mean, a lot of people wanted Liv Morgan to have the title, but it's like,
Not yet.
yeah, not
Absolutely
yet.
not.
Like, no, not yet. Like when your main champion, who was basically the face of the company, goes down, you got to put him on your next best thing, and that was
Hmm.
Becky Lynch. And I feel like that was the right choice. She's going to be the champion, and now she has some good feuds to have. She could fight Io Sky, she could fight whoever. So it's a lot of great things happening with the draft. So that I was happy with it. I was good.
So we had SmackDown. It started on SmackDown this past
Yep.
Friday, and then it continued on Raw.
Mhm.
Um, SmackDown's first pick was Bianca Belair,
Of course, I
which I
knew she
was
was going to say.
kind of shocked, but I understand why
Mhm.
they did it. I don't think they want to
Mhm.
break up that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Uh,
She needs it. She needs to stay with Bianca because I feel like not really hiding her, shadowing her with Bianca is helping her improve in the ring a lot. I feel like because I was seeing some house shows and some footage of her, like she was taking some bumps that I
mm.
never seen her take before, and she was doing quite a bit of selling. So I'm like, all right, she's trying to improve and whatever. So I get what the WWE is trying to do because I know they feel like their fans do not really want to see just squash matches all the time. So they got to get adjusted to these WWE fans, unfortunately.
Yeah, and also I think by putting Jay Cargill with Bianca Belair, when you put them side by side, they're very, very similar. They're both big physical powerhouses of wrestlers. So I think the best person to help Jade learn is her version one, right? So
Hmm.
that's
Right,
probably the best way to do it. Because if Bianca was able to do it, then there's no reason for Jade not to be able to do it. And I think
right.
we've seen a little bit, right? Every time that Jade
Hmm.
sort of tags into a match, she just squashes it at the end, but that
Yeah.
presence in which she performs, it gets a little bit longer every time. I think having
Hmm.
Bianca in there is definitely going to help her out. Am I saying that she's as talented as Bianca Belair?
Right.
Absolutely not. However, having her help her, I think, sets her up. And then eventually we know what's going to happen, right? They're going to tag team, and then Jade is going
Hmm.
to betray her, and then they're going to go on a feud. It's written in the skies. We know
It's
that's what's going to
yeah.
happen. I
Hmm.
don't mind it. I don't
I
mind it.
don't
It's what we
mind
used to do in the past, and that's how we had monster wrestlers come through. Braun Strowman came through the same sort of way, and
Yeah, he's back.
he's back. We'll discuss about Braun Strowman and how he's going to go nowhere again, but
I
it
know.
is it is what
It
it
is
is.
what it
But yeah,
is.
no, but I agree with you. I think having that group, those two together, makes sense.
Raw's first pick was, I don't know why, but anyways, Jay Uso. Are they building him up? Are they putting him over to?
They're really trying to put Jay Uso over as like a top guy on Raw, especially now that Cody's on SmackDown.
Eh,
Like,
And
who's
Seth is
really a
out.
top?
Seth
Yeah,
is
Seth
out
is out.
for a couple of months. He just got surgery,
Yeah,
so he's out for a
so
couple of months.
he's
But
out.
you're
So like,
putting Jay
it,
as your main guy.
Super
I
kick
would
Jey
rather than
Uso.
you're right. I'd rather than put Drew McIntyre. Like, I want to see a Punk to come back. Like, because SmackDown has a lot of I don't has a lot of good
They're
wrestlers.
shifting it. Remember when
Yeah,
I would not tune into SmackDown
I
because
know.
SmackDown storylines were very all over the place.
Yes.
Uh, like just the matches also were just, it was always LWO matches. I don't know if
I'm
you've ever
glad they
noticed.
broke them up. I'm glad you
Thank
said that. I'm
God.
glad they broke them up because I was like, yo, this not sound crazy, but I felt like they was just throwing all the Spanish people against each other. It
It
didn't
was
even matter
crazy,
what you
no?
was. You didn't have to be Mexican or nothing. You was just, but oh, you speak Spanish? You
They were
in that
against
clip?
each other.
Yeah, I just
Listen,
like
listen. Whatever the WWE was doing during the build up to WrestleMania was rough. The Mexicans fighting each other. Okay,
uh,
let's not go too in depth on that one. Also, am I the only one that felt a little weird that Bobby Lashley and the Pride was fighting Karrion Cross? Like, does Karrion Cross not look a little bit like those Nazi peoples in jail? You know
Yes.
what I'm
but you know
saying?
what's
Like, it's a little odd that like
And
it,
you
it
I
kind of
hate
felt like
that
a
they
racial war.
but
I
it
was like,
was
this is
on
no no
2024.
SmackDown.
What the
yeah,
fuck is going on?
SmackDown
but
was the racial war,
yeah,
and
and I'm glad they broke it up because I was tired of that feud. That feud was annoying. Thank God. Like you said, Stephen, thank God. But you know what's funny? I'm going to Karrion Kross. Like he was a major character on NXT, and I feel like he came to the main roster and like they don't know what to do with him. And like I hate when that
He
happens
got
sometimes.
hurt a lot.
Yeah.
He got hurt a lot. He came back, got hurt, came back, got hurt
Yeah.
again, then came back, lost the number one contenders, and
Tender. Yeah.
then formed a giant group of people who lost.
Well, yeah.
With
But I
that,
like them.
with that old man, that bald old man.
Dude, that's the Road Warriors manager.
I know, but
Yeah.
holy shit, does he look terrible? Like he's doing nothing.
Well,
He's never really. I don't think he moves. He
I
doesn't move.
Steven, understand. Listen, the Road Warriors were wrestling before I was born.
Right.
It
That's
doesn't
their manager.
matter.
Do you expect him to be Paul Heyman doesn't do much either. There was a time where Paul Heyman would get suplexed and get all the finishing moves, and all. Now he gets nothing.
But this guy was just there with a white glove on.
That works.
Fuck,
Listen.
say something.
Whatever. We won't get into the details of that necessarily, but listen, it is what it is.
What you
Whatever
said
they do is
before.
whatever they do.
What
Yes.
you said before that is not working, just turn the story into another direction, please, or break everybody up.
But that's what they did in the draft, right? That's the whole point. It's just
Right.
it felt flat, but
Yes.
But
we'll see how it goes from there.
The draft was underwhelming. Look,
Yeah.
I don't want to go through every single name, but nothing really changed. Everybody just basically stayed on the same show.
Nakamura went to SmackDown.
Thank God.
King said, "Yeah, you hate."
Take
Yeah,
Taka
say it with me.
Michinoku
Say it with me,
Michinoku
Steven.
needs to get the hell out of here.
Stop.
Okay.
Listen. Squash Nakamura, the guy who, whenever we don't know who to make a top guy fight, put Nakamura, he's gonna lose, and he's gonna make him look good while losing.
Props.
Yes,
It's
because he's a good worker. Yes, I'm
but
looking.
why
at
draft
SmackDown.
him at that point? Why
They'll do
draft
something
him
on
at that
SmackDown.
point?
And you're drafting him. But he was on Raw, so now he's on SmackDown. But he's on SmackDown with LA Knight, Randy Orton, Carmelo Hayes.
Wait.
Andrade.
Pause on that one. That is one of my favorite picks out of the whole freaking draft. Is Carmelo Hayes going to SmackDown? SmackDown is kind of building we're gonna be in-ring guys, and we're gonna give you 5-star matches. And he had a phenomenal match on the night he got drafted with Cody Rhodes. That was classic wrestling. That was, hey, I'm Cody Rhodes. Forget storylines for a minute. Let me just go in the ring with this young dude and let's just have a wrestling match. And I'm so happy that they're bringing that back. And I think SmackDown is going to be that. It's going to be exactly that. It's the in-ring performance matches. And having Carmelo Hayes. Hey, that guy's shorter than me. What is he? 4 foot?
Yeah, he's short. He's short.
But he's mobile as a motherfucker. The guy was fucking like a frog in the ring. Did you see him leap?
I see him. Yeah, I know.
But yes, please continue. That was my favorite one. Continue.
Yeah, so you got Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Andrade, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, Da Vinci, and then of course Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi. Oh, Nia Jax, she went from Raw to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. Blair Davenport.
You see what they're doing?
And
they're building people around Cody.
Yeah.
To have these in-ring wrestling matches. Like Cody, we'll talk about the Backlash match in a bit, but like Cody AJ Styles, Cody LA Knight, Cody Carmelo Hayes, Cody Andrade, both from AEW. You know what? Bobby Lashley is there. Imagine Bobby Lashley in a feud with Cody Rhodes.
I know.
Like this
who's
is
gonna? I'm looking at the SmackDown roster. It looks like a lot of baby faces. Like who's really the heels that's gonna fight Cody?
The Bloodline.
You're gonna the Bloodline. Yeah. Carmelo
DIY.
Solo Styles.
Yes. Yeah, DIY is there. Well, AJ Styles. Oh yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah.
Heel turn for LA Knight.
Heel turn. Yeah. Oh, heel LA Knight will be dope.
But that's what I want to see.
And he has to win some kind of title, dude, because it's getting to that point. He needs to win some kind of title, whether it's the US title or something. He needs something.
The Raw draft picks, the biggest one for me, obviously was Braun Breaker.
Oh yeah. That's definitely the big one.
But I
I see why
get
they did
why.
that there
Yeah, go.
because they're going to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Netflix. They need to make Monday Night Raw that because remember he was on SmackDown. They're like, who can we get on Netflix to bring people there that's going to bring viewerships there, and we need another superstar there. You got too many injuries. CM Punk is still hurt. Fucking Seth Rollins is gonna be out for a while. Who's an up and comer? It's time to push the new guy. So I understand why they took Braun Breaker to Raw. It makes so much sense.
He's gonna do so well
Yeah, he is.
against Damian Priest. Go against
That
Jey
roster.
Uso,
Oh,
Seth Rollins when he comes back.
Brick
Uh,
Bronson Reed,
that's gonna be a good feud. Those are good matches. Those are
even
good
Igor
matches.
Dragunov, Ivar. It's so Gunther. Hmm.
Gunther is still there.
Yeah.
Derek's favorite, Drew McIntyre with the elbow
Of
injury.
course, I love Drew McIntyre. Yo, this is the best Drew Mc. I'm so glad Vince McMahon is gone, and because when Drew McIntyre didn't have no facial hair, and he was supposed to walking around with a sword
The
or
chosen
like,
one.
yes, the chosen one. Forget all of that chosen one. Heel Drew McIntyre is best thing.
Bring
Must see
back
TV.
Scottish
Must
psychopath
see.
Drew McIntyre.
Yes. Oh my God.
Whenever McIntyre first came back and was running around with Ziggler, and Ziggler would run
Yes.
his mouth, and then McIntyre's like,
Uh-huh.
"Yeah, fuck you."
Yep.
That's what we need him to be. The thing is that we all know we're all wrestling fans here. No one who ever feuds with CM Punk's wins.
Yeah.
You're,
That
you're,
feud. That
you're
feud.
paying him all the money, but also one thing, and
That
I'll
feud.
make that quick. Pay the fucking man.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre has been fucking carrying WWE, has been carrying some main event matches.
Yes.
He's listen, if out of anyone,
Mm-hmm.
the W could have chosen anyone to go against CM Punk. Anyone. Who did they turn to go against CM Punk?
Drew.
They chose Drew McIntyre. And now you're holding out and you're not giving him a contract? I'm sorry to
he
say.
did. He signed
No, I think he signed, and the Rock gave him
When did he
something.
sign?
last
I
week.
think he's
Last week?
I think he
Okay.
signed.
Sorry
I didn't
for all
have
the
the details of the
listeners.
contract.
Sorry for all the listeners. By the way, Derek
Mm-hmm.
does not have any social media. Does not
Nothing.
has a television, nor does he have a cell phone. He lives in the time where you have to do the dial-up phone thing.
The rotary phone. Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
My girlfriend's on a treadmill so that I have power to do this podcast. But one thing I do want to say, and I said so in my intro, I'm going to say the facts as they are. What the fuck was up with the fake War Room NFL draft sort of style during the pick? If you're gonna show me that, you better do exactly like they do in the NFL. You better not have your choices written on a thing. You better give the envelope to someone, and you better surprise people with some picks. Not just write him out on a Sherpie on a white. No, sorry, drop the gimmick. If you want to do an NFL draft, do an NFL draft. If not, just do it like it is. That's it.
Yeah.
No fake bullshit. Braun Breaker got picked.
Terrible.
Come on. For
How
fuck's
funny?
sake.
How funny was the Dudleys, the APA, Stephanie McMahon, with her gigantic bonkers coming out? She still, by the way, looks fantastic.
Amazing at this age, right?
Money. Money.
I'm mad you
Money
said
and her father out of her life.
You said her gigantic bonkers. That's what you call them? Wow.
Melons.
She do have some nice. Yeah, she do have some
Jugs.
nice mommy milkers. Mommy milkers. That's what I call them.
But
I
overall,
love me some nice mommy milkers.
overall, the draft was underwhelming. I would have liked an LA Knight to go to Raw. I would have liked big
Yeah, I would
guys
like
to
that.
change, because I find that without Seth Rollins there and Punk going after Drew, the Damian Priest storyline with Jey Uso is already stale, and they still haven't fought at Backlash. So it's like,
you already know Jey Uso's not getting the title.
He can't fight in the ring for more than 5 minutes.
They should have put Sheamus on SmackDown and put LA Knight to Raw.
Something
I
like
would have
that.
rather that. Yeah, put Sheamus over there. Because Raw has Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, Ricochet, Big Bronson Reed, Dijak, Dragunov, Ivar.
Ivar. Jesus, give Ivar the belt.
Yep.
Like
They still got Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I like them.
LWO, Rey Mysterio, Carlito,
Yeah. Oh
Dragon
yeah.
Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just find that they're really taking away from that champion after it being at such a high level because of Seth Rollins.
Because of
Now
Seth
again,
Rollins.
are we waiting for Seth Rollins? Are we waiting for the Drew and CM Punk feud to be over? What are we doing?
I
Because
don't know.
after Damian Priest wins at Backlash, who is
Hmm.
gonna go for the belt? Who?
Right. Who? That's a good question. Because
Gunter, but Gunter needs to win the King of the Ring
King of the
before
Ring.
before
I feel like that's the play. Let him win King of the Ring. I feel like it's time for Gunther to make a world championship run. Why not? And let's see how it goes. I feel like he held the Intercontinental title down.
But before you do that, you need to make him into a face. They won't have two heels fight for the
Ah,
championship,
that's
so
true. Right,
it's
you're right.
weird. But he needs to lose. He needs to lose. He needs to get cheated out of it.
Right, and then turn
Work him into a
face.
face. Work him into becoming better on the mic, getting the
Uh-huh.
fans behind him, and then you set him up. I feel like the
Okay.
WWE, sadly, in the draft, had a chance to set up a future feud for Damian Priest with Andrade, but they didn't. Because technically they're
Oh,
like,
because they left
you're
Andrade on SmackDown.
well, they're like, oh, your boy's supposed to join us and help us, but now all of a sudden he backstabbed Dominic Mysterio, betrays technically, Damian Priest and that gang,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, like, they have to turn around, fix the Andrade problem. Like, you set it up, you
Yeah, you're
mention the
right. You
name,
set
but you
it
don't
up.
do anything with it.
Yeah,
So,
Mhm.
and I
that's
think that would have
true.
been interesting. I think it would have been really, really nice to see a full sort of Spanish championship fight. I mean, they do events in Mexico all the time. Why not? Right? That's a
Right.
good
Mhm.
chance to give them what they
That's a
want.
good
A
chance.
massive
Yeah.
draw, but
And
they didn't.
Andrade's good. No,
Oh,
you're right. That's a
good.
good play. If they would have drafted, they should have drafted him to Raw with had a feud with Damian Priest.
And I
Yeah, that
think
would have been
Andrade
good.
probably listens to this podcast because ever since we mentioned how nasty that spinning back elbow is, he's been doing it in every match. And in every single match, I go, holy fucking shit, he's going
Yo,
to kill someone one day.
every time he does that, I'm like, yo, one day he's gonna really hit somebody and knock somebody out with that shit. That shit is
It's
lethal.
so brutal. It should be a
It's
finishing
so
move.
lethal.
By the
It's so
way,
lethal.
seeing that live, you don't see it. That's
Mm,
how fast it is.
mm.
Like I had no idea. Like I basically went like this. Oh, Andrade's gonna go for the move, and I was like, okay, well, fuck. Where do like Dominic Mysterio was out cold.
Yeah,
Yo,
Dominic Mysterio, he took it well. He took it well. I remember that.
He's
But
great
yeah,
at getting bumps. Dominic Mysterio. He's also injured
Dominic
now.
Mysterio in the future, in a few years, he's going to be really, 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 really good. He grew up with one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Let's not kid ourselves. He grew up around wrestlers his whole life, has been training for that his whole entire life, and he's young. He's young, and he's already the most over heel in the entire business. You you can't do more than that. Just
yeah.
have him maybe bulk up a little bit,
Mm.
not look like he has the body of a 16-year-old girl, but
Right. I was about to say that, a 12-year-old girl, but
the same thing. It's
yeah,
pretty much the
same
same
thing.
thing, right?
Yep.
But
Yeah.
like, to come out as, douchey Dom. That's what we
Mhm.
want. The rat tail, the little fucking whenever he does his little thing, it works. Everyone hates him. So I think if there's anyone this year who should get pushed a little bit more, I think it's going to be Dom Mysterio.
We'll see. We'll see after his injury. After he comes back, I think he has a couple of months to heal. He's not getting operated.
He'll be fine. He's a kid.
So
He'll be
exactly,
fine. They're made of rubber.
exactly.
Mm.
Any takeaways before we move on to the Backlash card for this coming Saturday in France?
Let me see. One of my takeaways is Lyra Valkyra. I like her. She was just an NXT champion. She's kind of like almost a Rhea Ripley s style in the ring.
She's
So
hot.
that'd be
Continue.
yeah. She oh yeah, she is. I ain't gonna front. She is hot too. But I could see her being an opponent for like Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, when she comes back, of course. So that was a good pickup. And of course, you already know what I was about to say. Damage control the Raw.
I
I'm
figured I
already
didn't want to
you
say
already
anything. I was waiting for you to take
no,
over.
you already know
You
that was
messaged me.
yeah, I messaged you. I told you. I messaged you and I called Cavallo. Like, see, I told you. I said because I told you guys before. I said Eos guy's gonna go to Raw. and she's gonna be the new champion. You guys are like, nah, you think so? And I was like, yes, that has to be the agenda. And then look, did you see Monday Night Raw? The segment she had with Becky Lynch already, they're setting up the agenda. I'm telling you,
Did you
Grand Slam
message her and
champion.
tell her how much of on the bandwagon you are with her, or no?
No,
I
I
will.
didn't. But yeah, you can. I mean, I'm a
I'm.
Kabuki Warrior fanatic, man. I like
I
Oscar.
love
I
it.
like Kyrie Sane. I love them. But yeah, that was a good. I understand why they did it. That was a good pickup for Raw. It gives more people for Rhea Ripley to beat up and fight and have good matches with because they had a phenomenal match at NXT.
Hmm.
So if we could just run it back again on the main stage, I mean that'd be a good matchup.
Derek.
There's gonna be some negatives and some positives for sure. I
Of
think
course.
not necessarily out of the draft, but I think Liv Morgan getting a spotlight to shine, I think is really good. I think now you work with her since she hurt Rhea Ripley. Everyone's going to be against her, so let's get that going. Let's make her the most despicable female heel you could build in the business
I hope.
and
Yep.
set it up. You like someone
Mhm.
that backstabs, just like fights dirty. Let's do that. Braun Strowman coming back. I've seen him come back 100 times now.
Yeah,
It
I
did
know.
nothing, especially
And that,
going after
yeah.
Logan Paul. Like, we don't need babyface Strowman. That's he's too, we don't need it. He's
Terrible.
uncharismatic. He's
Monster.
if you have a wrestler that's that big, first
He
of all,
needs
we
to
know
be
they're going to
healed.
push him to the. He needs to be a heel. He needs to be
Like
an app.
Sid Vicious.
Yeah,
He's like Sid Vicious, big like that. He needs to be a heel.
You said it
yeah.
By the
best,
way,
Sid
Sid Vicious is
Vicious.
one of my best heel, one of the best heels. I love Sid Vicious. But yeah, that's who
I agree.
Braun Strowman needs to be like. He needs to be that nasty, sweaty, like face heel you're afraid of. Why is he going after Logan Paul? Logan Paul is a heel. So this big guy's a baby face. Then they have Patrick Mahomes there being a heel. Like, how is he more heel than you?
Yeah,
Big,
yeah. You
he,
can't you
yeah, you
can't buy
can't have
that.
Patrick. Yeah, you can't. So I understand what you're saying. They brought him back just for you to be like, all right, he's back again.
which
They
is
they
which is
brought
fine. It's
it is
fine.
just do
Just
something with him.
yeah,
Just like with Baron Corbin. They they had him there, didn't know what to do with him, so he went to NXT. He was tag team champions with Braun Breaker. They brought him back up again. Now he's on SmackDown. But now do something with him again. Like stop. I don't understand that.
Baron Corbin is so hated, and I
Right.
don't understand because he's really good in the ring. He
That's what
has
I
one of the most
understand.
insane finishing moves you'll ever see,
Ever
and
seen.
he's good on the mic.
That's what I'm
He's good on the
saying.
mic.
When
Why
him and
not?
Braun Breaker were tag team champions in NXT, holy shit, they used to run through everything there.
But that's the thing. So I'm happy that they brought these wrestlers up. I'm happy that they brought the Carmelo Hayes. I'm happy that they
Mm-hmm.
brought those wrestlers up from NXT. Let's just not make the mistake that they've always made, which is bring them up for 3 months and then send them back down.
Yeah,
We don't need that. We
you don't
don't
need
need
that.
that. If wrestling right now, especially with wrestlers getting hurt, with CM Punk
Mm-hmm.
being a little bit older,
Right. I
with
say that. Yeah.
let's start
It's time
grooming the next
developing, yeah,
generation.
grooming the next generation.
But
Yeah,
it's not going to be by squishing them. So hopefully the way
right.
that they set up the rosters is going to set that up perfectly. And I think Steven, you touched on that before. The SmackDown roster is going to be very technically advanced,
Hmm.
maybe with the exceptions of a few people. But I also do feel like if you look at the Raw side of things, the Raw side of things is maybe more entertaining. It's the big guys. It's the ones who are very athletic. I think that on the mic talent, I think Raw is definitely better as well. So now it's just going to be how do you set all that up, and hopefully, whenever Survivor Series comes around again, we really have a Raw versus SmackDown,
War
and then
games.
sort of start
Yeah.
tying these sort of ends together in the setup for the future WrestleMania. So
Hmm.
it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, what about you, Steven? What'd you think?
Very underwhelming.
Mhm.
The NXT guys coming up, Braun
Mhm.
Breaker going to Raw, Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown. That was something that really got me excited because I want to see what they do with these guys because these guys are really good in the ring. But besides that, I just want to see where they go with the storylines, who they're gonna put up against who, the feuds. I really want to see what they do with that stuff, and just segmenting our way into Backlash. Just looking at the pay per view card, I wonder in which direction they're gonna go after this, because I find it's right now. I kind of think that they're playing it safe because they
Mm.
don't know in which direction they're gonna be going in. They're playing it
Mm-hmm.
safe where they're like, okay, what are our new champions gonna do for us? What
Mm-hmm.
are our new champions gonna be able to stand the test of time with as a champion, or are they just overnight successes? Do you get what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
I
I
get what you mean.
the draft playing into Backlash is very safe for the WWE. Okay, um, Cody Rhodes. Okay, yeah, Cody Rhodes. It's been 2 years. He's finally the champion. Can he carry SmackDown? Can he carry the company without the Roman Reigns being there? How are the feuds gonna be? Because don't forget, you take away somebody's ability on the mic, it kind of really makes that feud stale. You you have a guy like Damian Priest who's okay. Damian Priest, yeah, he could be good on the mic, but his character doesn't really do anything as a champion. You see what I'm getting at? It's very safe right now. And I don't mind them being safe, but it's gonna at some point it's gonna be like, okay, Backlash has passed. Now it's time
Can I?
for
Do you think it has something to do because the TV rights deal is going to
no,
end like 2 months
no,
before they go to Netflix? Because
no.
what are they going to do with that gap?
They're gonna have to do something. You're not getting rid of Raw. Raw's been the has been
That's
on
what I'm saying.
television.
For them forever. So, but they contract expired, but then they go to Netflix in January. So,
They're
are they
gonna
going
have
to?
no choice. They're gonna have to piggyback on something. They have something. There's no way they're getting
Yeah,
rid
that's
of
what I'm about
Raw
to say. They have
because you're
something.
getting rid of over 40 superstars, right? Now, they could do something big with that. They really could do something big with that. To your point, invasion. They could do a Raw Smackdown invasion where they have to go on
Mm,
SmackDown and
Survivor
something,
Series tends to do that. Survivor Series
right?
is the perfect time to set that
mm.
up.
And
Um,
that's around the time they contract
yeah.
ends.
Mm-hmm.
Question for you guys, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like we're being so critical of the WWE and we're Backlash and the draft feels so underwhelming because the WWE for the last few months leading up to WrestleMania was absolutely lights out. It's kind of normal if you think about it for us to be on a sort of down from
Mm,
WrestleMania in a certain way because
Yeah.
you at some point there has to be a drop.
but hold
There
on a
has to be a
second.
drop.
I like that you asked that question because I was thinking about it today, actually. Backlash since 1999 has been the pay per view after WrestleMania. If I go back and look at all the backlashes after WrestleMania, they've all been maybe not. Last year was pretty good too. They've all been like, hold on, WrestleMania just passed. We got to do something big. Like it's like this is the direction we're going in for the next year. So they've always been elevated pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've always had amazing storylines, either continue or shift into a different direction. But they've always been strong. It's always been like, okay, this is in the direction that the company is gonna go this year. And now I feel like it's like, oh, let's just play it safe. So to your point, Derek, and what you're saying, we shouldn't have to feel this way, but there's injuries, and they're trying to see if these new champions are gonna really stand the test of time. Because don't forget, Roman Reigns had the belt for four
For 4 years.
years. Seth Rollins had the belt for a year.
Year and a
So do you
half,
get
yeah.
what I mean? It's like we gotta try and play it safe. Now, looking at the pay per view card, I have it right in front of me. I don't feel like watching it. This is not a pay per view that gets me like, oh wow, okay, let's go watch. Come to my house. Let's have a party. Let's watch Backlash. There's 5 matches and they all look like I'm about to have stale milk.
We could have been
Okay,
on Raw.
okay, like
Those matches back in the day would have been on Raw.
exactly. This is
This is
a
what I'm saying. The times back in the day, titles changed hands on fucking TV, or even sometimes the champion would still fight, or they'd be like, "It's a non-title match. Like, do something." Like
mm-hmm.
this did, like you said, you didn't even read the card, but I did see the card. But like that could have been on Raw or
There
SmackDown.
was also a time, and I've said this to Steven in the past. There was a time where a WWE pay-per-view, kind of like a USC pay-per-view, actually. It was an event. Now we get what, like 30 pay-per-views a year? Like we have Backlash, then we're gonna have another one in a month, and then there's gonna be another one like 3 weeks from that one.
It is SummerSlam.
They need to reduce the amount of pay-per-views that they have and extend the time between pay-per-views, so that way your pay-per-views are a lot more meaningful and a lot more impactful. Because right now, can we genuinely believe through everything that's happened that Jey Uso has a chance to defeat Damian Priest?
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. But why? Because Backlash is so soon after WrestleMania. If you let this drag out, right? Let's say another month. And for a month, Jey Uso sort of gets in his head a little bit. Starts fucking with his plans. Damian Priest he does a tag team or whatever the case may be, and Jey Uso starts getting there, gets the upper hand. All of a sudden, he's going in with momentum. Now we start to gain traction here a little bit going into there. But now it's not. There's nothing happening. There's absolutely nothing happening. And we feel like there's so many other people that deserve that title shot than super kick Jey Uso. And then you draft him first.
They're putting him over. They're putting him over.
Putting what over? His 2 moves? One of them he does well. The other one he nails half of the time.
You're not wrong.
It's unfortunate. And I think that's where Drew McIntyre comes in, and I think he said it perfectly. He's like, you waited until the 5th round to draft me. Let's go. Talk your shit, because he's gonna go over as a babyface in that feud with CM Punk. If anyone believes or has maybe now thinks that CM Punk is the good guy in this, oh no. They're just setting up Drew McIntyre to be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I'm saying? To be like the badass. The fucking badass, the guy who's gonna tear shit. But guess what? I understand that there's only one Stone Cold. In this new era, there needs to be more than one Drew McIntyre to do that. You need to have guys that talk their shit. We believe those guys that talk their shit. And we need more of those, because right now it's not the case. And Jey Uso, all he knows to do is say yeet, and that does nothing.
It's gonna get fucking annoying, and it's already annoying.
It's already annoying. It was annoying 2 days in.
My son keeps saying it. It's fucking annoying. So the card right now is 5 matches so far. Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna travel to France in a different time zone and have only 5 matches. I digress. We're not going to speak about all these matches because just looking at them are boring as hell. We have
just list them off.
Bailey versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship. I know you do. I know you're excited.
I love Tiffany Stratton. She's got so much better. She's a good ring worker. She's that prettiest moonsault ever.
I like triple threats. Let me just say it that way. I like a triple threat match.
Okay? A good one.
We know that Bailey's gonna come out on top on that one.
Of course.
Okay. We have the Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
You know who's gonna win that one?
Absolutely. I 100%. 100%. Again, showcase your tag team champions. I like that. And the Women's Tag Team Championships don't really get showcased on pay-per-views. So you know what? Put them over. Focus on that. I by any means, go for it. Okay? And you know what? Jade Cargill is hot right now. Bianca Belair is hot right now. As a tag team, it's good that you're doing that. Keep on that path. I'm with you 100%. Okay? Now, we have Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus the new Wikipedia. Get your shit together. It's the new Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, the head of the table. And Tama Tonga.
MFT.
Which is just this is the type of guy that's gonna hurt people like Goldberg did, because have you seen him attack people? He just Derek, you've seen I know Derek. I gotta ask Derek, because me and you, Trap, we talk consistently about this.
Yeah.
Derek, please, because I see it in your face. I know how you are. Just tell us.
Why? Why?
He said,
This
"Why?"
came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Why that? Why that? Why just have the bloodline ransack through the new bloodline, ransack through everyone, and interfere in every match and be like, "Oh, you thought we was done? We're not fucking done."
Right.
That I don't want them in matches. I don't want them in matches. Just like the Nexus, when we had the Nexus, we didn't have the Nexus in any matches for like 3 months. All they did, they
Yeah.
just beat everyone up,
Like the
tore the ring to
Shield.
pieces, like the Shield.
The
That's what I
Shield
want.
for yes.
I
Like the
want them
Shield.
to
They
be
were punk mercenaries.
destroyers. I want them to be destroyers. The best way to destroy them, you want to set up this match the correct way. You have Owens and Orton fight for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And right as they're about to win, the bloodline interferes and they fuck them over. That's how you set up a match. That's how you do it. What they're doing now is not setting up a match. It's not setting up like the bloodline, like the new bloodline, my bad, as being like destroyer worlds. And I don't get me wrong, and I like heels. I like heels. I think I texted you, Steven, whenever Solo Sokoa did a shit. I was like, yo,
You
this
know what's
could be
funny?
good. But that's
When he
not the
did
way
that,
you do
I
it.
thought about you because you said that. You said once Roman Reigns leaves, this is what needs to happen. Solo Sokola, and then as soon as that happened, I immediately thought about it. I was like, yo, Derek called it. He was like, Solo, this is gonna be the new thing. Like, yo, you know what? I'm
And it's
here.
fine. That's what we need.
Finally.
But they
Yeah.
need to be destroyers. Don't book him in
Right.
matches. Just have him destroy everything and everyone.
But
That's what they. Yeah.
But they gotta destroy Randy Orton, the Viper, and they gotta destroy Kevin Owens. And having this match makes sense. I think it's too soon. I would have waited for the
That's what
next pay
he's
per
yeah,
view.
that's what Derek's saying. It's too
But
soon because
but
he didn't even build it up,
but they're doing
really.
this because the other guy just signed. I
Oh,
can't.
Jacob Fatu.
So Jacob
I
Fatu is
forgot.
probably gonna interfere in this match, beat the
Yeah.
shit out of them, and then they're gonna be on top of the world, and then they're gonna probably ramsack, like you said, pause through everybody.
Which is what it's what we need until Roman Reigns comes back. That's what we need, and
Which
that's
is in
and
a long time.
but that's fine because guess what? That's the thing, right? In wrestling, just like in everything else, by Roman Reigns being out for an indefinite amount of time, it's gonna make his return so much more impactful
Yes.
because he's letting all this go around. So that whenever he does show up, he's gonna be like, "No, that's not how we do shit," right? But that's the thing. And now by not having Solo Sokoa and MFT build them up to be destroyers, it has no impact. All that good work that you did setting it up is now gets put to rest because guess what? We know Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going to fight and they're going to hurt them. But that's not how you set up a proper heel. You set up a proper heel by looking invincible. But right now, they're going to look weak at Backlash and they're going to need an interference. That's not how you set them up. That's my opinion. That's my 2 cents.
No, I feel you. No, yo, you two need to send your resume to AEW. You guys need to book the AEW shows. Because like I said, we don't want AEW. No, nobody wants AEW to fail. Even Cody Rhodes said it when he was interviewed and he talked about he was like, yo, I don't like you gotta understand a lot of those guys are still friends and whatever and stuff over there. Like I'm a fan of this wrestling. Like I want to see it get
You just
better.
want
You guys
trap
gotta
trap. You just want me to
but
write for wrestling. I understand. I agree
yeah,
with you hundred
you
and ten
need to
percent.
write for AEW. Tell
I'll
Tony
do it.
Khan.
Call him.
Yeah, because yeah, we need to get in touch with him because he can't do it. We got to change that whole Young Buck scene. They're not getting over as heels. They need to not get rid of Japanese Cody, but they need to not be paired with Japanese Cody.
This is where Trap gets into his bag. This is the part of the episode where Trap gets into his bag, and I gotta just realign him back on what we're talking about. I
I
love
know,
it.
right?
I love it.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
no, it's fine. I love it. The passion.
I know.
The next match, we'll do it quick. Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. We know what's gonna happen. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
being a filler, Jey Uso. I really appreciate it.
Super Kick Jey Uso.
I thought of something in my brain. Damian Priest's next feud will not be Gunter. It will be Finn Balor.
Mm.
Because at some point, Finn Balor is he's gonna turn and he's gonna turn on Damian Priest. He's fed up of Damian Priest being that guy. He's fed up of Damian Priest being the so-called in charge, spotlight, etc., etc. And you want Finn Balor is an amazing heel, by the way, and you want the Demon to
Oh,
come
yeah, I love
back.
Finn Balor.
This is the way to do it, and do a 2-month feud with Damian Priest, Finn Balor off the top rope like Finn Balor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this.
But you need to set up Priest as the heel. Balor needs to be the yes. Absolutely. You need basically you kind of need Priest to be like what Gunther was to Imperium, if that makes sense. Being like the very critical guy of like you need to be better than this, otherwise
He's no
you're
more
out.
I don't see him as a heel anymore.
Really
I see him as a baby face. He's turning
You
into a
don't.
baby face.
I know, but you don't walk around calling yourself El Campeón, and you don't look at JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio of like, get your shit together. Handle your business. I handle my business. That to me is setting up Priest to do this.
Yeah, but wait. No, that's setting up Finn Balor to be like, fuck you, I'm fed up with your bullshit. And then he attacks him, and then they all attack Damian Priest, and Damian Priest becomes the, what was it? Undertaker, transsexual Undertaker?
The bisexual Undertaker.
The bisexual Undertaker. That was fucking hilarious. But getting back to the point, it's you got like Damian Priest is gonna be he's gonna be a face, and Finn Balor is gonna be the guy that makes him a face, because Finn Balor is just gonna say, I'm fed up with your bullshit. It's over. I'm in charge of the Judgment Day, and then there you go. No, I think it could be great, and I love Finn
Possibly.
Balor, man.
Yeah, Finn Balor's a great.
Give him a champion. Give him all the belts, for Christ's sake.
He's a great wrestler.
And I
He
guess
said,
this
give him
is
all the belt.
I guess this is our main event. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Look, I am all for this, boys. I like this. Let's get it. They've never fought each other. AJ Styles is amazing in the ring.
Yes, I'm about to say that.
Cody Rhodes is amazing in the ring. This is a match made in heaven. This is what the fans want. You know what? Get it done.
Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson.
Exactly. This is gonna be like a, hey, we're gonna watch this. Fuck the story. There's no story. Yeah, AJ Styles fought Dusty Rhodes. Big whoop-de-doo. But this is a in-the-ring performance wrestling match. The side of WWE that was gone for a long time, and that is back because of people like this. Let's make it happen. Am I wrong or am I right? Like Derek. You love in ring performances.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy. You're the guy who loves technician. Yep. This is gonna happen with this match.
It is. I'm gonna be critical once again. As much as I want this to happen, and as much as I'm the technical guy, you know this. All my favorite wrestlers of all time have all been really technical wrestlers and great heels. I just feel like AJ Styles deserves better.
Well, who do you want him to go against?
Another match that AJ Styles loses. That's not a good look for him. It's not a good look for him.
How many matches has Shawn Michaels lost at WrestleMania? How many matches? Like, there's so many.
Are we comparing AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels?
No, but I'm talking about.
I mean, you kind of
can. You can, but
you kind of can. AJ Styles, like.
Trap, to your point, though.
From TNA, Indies, like.
Sting lost many matches. Like
I get
Undertaker lost so many Hell in the Cell matches.
I get it. But how many top 10 lists is AJ Styles on?
None. But
that's the thing.
Talk of 50.
He's in the talk of 50 for sure. But guess what? So are other wrestlers. Like I could put Goldust in my top 50. Do I think fucking Goldust and AJ Styles is the same thing? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I know. I love Goldust. But like my thing is that AJ Styles just lost against LA Knight. Okay. Now, if we work on the math of it, would LA Knight right now beat Cody Rhodes? Hell to the no, right? So what chance does AJ Styles has to
It's a match, and I think, it's a filler.
Yeah, I know it's a filler, but I feel like if you're AJ Styles, you're his age, you look good, you carry matches, you put superstars over. Cody Rhodes right now does not need to be over. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need to be over. He's already the most over thing in the world. Right now, if I understand from a technical perspective, but from a story perspective for AJ Styles, I think that's the wrong move. I think you set up AJ Styles to go against Logan Paul, to win a championship, and then you can maybe sort of then maybe you have to start building him up at some point. But he just came off a loss. Also, what the hell happened you just lost against a non-title contender, but you're now the number one contender for a championship?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a build-up. He needs to beat someone important before he can earn that match, and he just lost. And I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. I really like AJ Styles. TNA AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The TNA back then was fire. Back when they had like the 8-sided ring or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh yeah.
But to me, I'm gonna watch it for the technicality of it, but it doesn't do anything, sadly.
There's missing. We know who's gonna win. We could move on as quick as we want. We have no Intercontinental Championship match on this card. We have no U.S. Championship match on this card. Shocking, because Logan Paul only wrestles half the year. We don't have a.
He learned from his trainer, Shawn Michaels.
Hold on a second. That's not true. Shawn Michaels
trained him.
Shawn Michaels trained him, but Shawn Michaels fought every In Your House, every pay-per-view.
Well,
when he came back, he did the exact same thing.
How many times? There's no many house shows no more.
No, In Your House.
Oh, In Your House.
In Your House. Pay-per-view. Shawn Michaels was always defending that championship any day of the week. But with that being said, we don't have. Where are the belts? We need more belt matches, for Christ's sake. It's right after WrestleMania. Okay, like they need to do it. And where's the women's champion from Raw? Becky Lynch just won that Battle Royal crap. Okay, yeah. And is she gonna
set her up? They're gonna set up for Liv Morgan, I guess.
Okay, but why am I going to France? Why is the WWE traveling to France for Backlash? And you're giving me 5 fucking matches.
Maybe there's gonna be more to come. I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be more to come.
There's SmackDown on Friday, Trap, and then it's Backlash on Saturday. There ain't more coming. Maybe they'll put one more match. What is it gonna be? Fucking Karrion Kross
right. How long is it?
LWO versus at some point it's like give me more matches. There's great feuds. There's Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn. You do a triple threat match. You put Bronson Reed in there.
You get Dragunov in there. You think Dragunov is going to join Imperium, being that they kicked the other guy out?
No, there might be a nice feud there though. You could have Dragunov versus Gunter.
No, they already fought in NXT like a bunch of times.
Have another match with Gunter with all the weight loss. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So I think personally, the WWE should do like what the UFC does, and they should have a main card, and they should have a prelim card. If you're going to book 3 hours on pay-per-views, and I'm not shitting on NXT in any way, shape, or form. NXT should have their pay-per-views, and they will have their pay-per-views. But whenever you have big WWE pay-per-views like this, right? We can probably all agree that most people who watch the WWE, probably a lot of them don't watch NXT. It's on a Wednesday, middle of the week. It's sort of like a little spicy, like it is what it is. Why not have an hour and a half, 2 hours of main card superstar matches, and then you have the first hour showcase what NXT does. Build some storylines from there. They're going to have their own pay-per-views. Why not? It's a good way to fill up a pay-per-view, and it's a good way to for the younger wrestlers to show what they could do with the viewership of a WWE pay-per-view, not an NXT pay-per-view, a WWE main roster pay-per-view. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Some people shine the brightest under the brightest of lights. But if you don't put those lights on them, you'll never know. Backlash would be a great opportunity for some of those NXT superstars to showcase what they do. Take something that's going on in NXT right now, a feud that's going on, people who have beef, and put them in a match on Backlash. Why not? Why not? The French don't know. They won't tell the difference. It's all good. It's all good.
That's true. Nah, you making a point there.
Boys, look, very underwhelming Backlash card. Hopefully they add a couple of matches here and there. But you know what? Too. We're back on Monday with the Backlash review episode. Can't wait to give it a 2 on 10. No, I'm kidding.
It might be.
It might be. We'll see what happens. But on that note, we're back next week with the Backlash episode for the review. Anything else you guys want to add? Oh yes, please like and subscribe. Please subscribe and like.
Say that 3 times fast.
Impossible.
Fellas, if you're still listening to us right now, people on the internet, if you're still listening to us, that means you put up with all of our bullshit for the past hour. You owe us a like and subscribe. Do it.
Press the like
It's right
button.
there.
Press the subscribe button. Put a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know if you like Sami Zayn. Let me know if you don't like Sami Zayn. Let's have a conversation.
Let me know if you listen to Mickey Diamond, and if you don't, you're missing out. Because
Talk
I
your
was
shit.
listening-
Just do
Talk your
something.
shit.
But I just want to
I was
say,
so
boys,
great.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. We're back neck week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.
And if
Same
you're not down
time.
with that, we got
Same
2
place.
words for you.
Like, subscribe.
I love
Like
you.
and subscribe. guys.
Have a great evening, boys.
Peace.
Peace.